is a lot of us did not win the Webtoon 2025 contest. And so I'm sure there are a lot of big emotions. There are a lot of big feelings. There are a lot of, confusion. There's a lot of complication to the whole situation. And so I just want to open up this space so that we can chat about it a little bit, talk about like what we can do next and how we can develop and grow from here. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into this discussion. So as always, you can pause the screen to read it, but my disclaimer, everything that I say is my opinion. So take it as you want, apply what I say, don't apply, it is what it is. This is just another perspective for you to listen to. Okay, so I just want to say, like, I do understand that everybody is feeling a type of way, especially after not being shortlisted. Like, there are probably a lot of big feelings. There's probably a lot of big negative emotions. And so I personally feel that, everyone is justified to be able to just take a day to process it. And by day, I mean however long you need, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whatever you need to be able to process this and really move forward is super duper important. So I want to say, don't hold those emotions in. Like, holding that in, like, find somebody you can talk to, find somebody that you can like really share those emotions with if you need to, but like bottling it up, I feel like is only going to make it fester and it's only going to hurt you in the long run. So whether it's rage, whether you need to cry, whether you need to scream into your pillow, whether you want to, indulge in your favorite snack a little more than you usually do, like the eat your feelings concept, then all of that is completely justified. So just thinking about this, like, let's just take a moment to think about this. We've spent like all of us who have been in the contest, we've spent over 6 months working on this. Some of us completely brand new concepts never seen before. And so it's probably extremely hard to think about the fact that, we as creators had so much excitement for the projects that we're making. Some of us were entering for the first time. Some of us, it's our first webtoon. Some of us, there might have not been, any sort of other mindset or focus other than the contest, which can be extremely, extremely crushing when that shortlist came. If you just need to deal with these emotions, whether it's public or private or whatever it is, like we just need time to process. It's one of those things where I feel like you cannot underestimate the amount of time and effort that you need to be able to sit in your emotions and deal with this. And all of the amount of effort that everyone has put into this contest. And I feel like from the shortlist, what makes it even more clear to a lot of people is that anybody could have won. Like, whether it was your first comic to whether you're a seasoned professional, like, this contest truly showcased that the shortlist really showcased that, anybody had a chance of winning. And I love to see that. Like, I will admit, like, when I am wrong, I am not too proud to admit the fact that I feel like Webtoons did an amazing job with the shortlist. Like, from a PR perspective, from a business perspective, from a first-time creator's perspective, from a contest perspective, like a subjective contest, I think they did a really good job. I think that it seems like there was a lot of thought put into it. It seems like they picked a lot of different people that of all different skill levels, of all different art types. They picked some that looked more in line with their brand to some that looked very westernized. So I feel like it's one of those things where we as a community should rally around these people, obviously, and we should lift them up. But like, we are still dealing with our own battle scars and wounds. So, maybe you cannot, actively, maybe you don't feel like actively going out of your way to support them now. But I feel like within a couple of days or so, maybe next week even, showing up, commenting on their stuff, giving them the likes, giving them that validation, that extra support is all very much well deserved. And so, and just think, if you were in that position, you would want that yourself. So I think it's completely fine to process. Processing has nothing to do with weakness. Like, even the most strategic people, the most emotionless people need to process things that happen in their life. And so dealing with it, facing it head on takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of power. And it's one of those things that I don't think anybody should feel bad about, having to deal with it. So if you want to talk to a group of friends that you trust in private and really express those raw emotions, those negative feelings, those ideas that maybe are not the best ideas, but having your friends be able to let you vent a little bit, to allow you that grace to be able to express how you feel openly and honestly, is such an important part of every process. Publicly, I would say, you need to be really careful about what you say, how you say it, how you come off. Is it rude? Like you want to make sure that we are not dragging down any of these creators, because imagine if this was somebody you were close to, if this was your friend, if this was you, and, people were just talking about how undeserving you were. So I really feel like, we have to do this in a way that is very mindful and very professional. Like we're all trying to be professionals here. So let's keep that in mind. So I will say, if you gave it your all, you deserve to know that you should be applauded for that. And before you decide to move on to your next steps, keep that in mind, that I put my all into this contest. I have no regrets. Like, I feel like everybody, win or lose, should be able to look back on the contest, look back on what they entered, look back on what they did, and they can say without a doubt, this was my best at this current time. And I have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing that I feel like I am not deserving of. Like, I could have been a winner as well, and that's completely fine. So all of that is completely validating. So let's talk about this. Was this a skill issue? Like, was it like, are people just not good enough? Was it the writing that wasn't good enough? Was it the art that wasn't good enough? Like, do you personally feel that you are not talented enough, and that the reason you did not move on to the next round is a skill issue? I just want to be the first to say, I do not think this at all. I think one thing that people completely forget when dealing with this contest, and I feel like maybe I didn't do a good enough job preaching it, although it's not my job to preach things like this, but art, writing, any creative field is extremely subjective, whether it be from fans, whether it be from other creators, other artists, other writers, from the people behind the scenes, from corporations. It's all subjective. Like, nobody can truly say without a doubt, like, oh, this is going to be a mass success. Like, can we, to a logical degree, look at data and information and based off like statistics and all of these other analytics and data that we can predict things like this? Absolutely. But also things like that fail all the time. Like, I'm looking at you, Marvel. So what I'm saying is we cannot ignore the fact that this was a subjective contest based on art, that a corporation was holding it looking for their next big project or whatever their motives were. So they only wanted to invest in what they wanted to invest in. And at the end of the day, I feel like I said this, and I hope that this documenting all of this process has really opened people's eyes, and hopefully will be a good resource for people in the future, that when working with a company, they're going to pay for what they want to pay. Like, the person who receives the $100,000, I feel like that is what Webtoons wanted to buy with $100,000. They felt like this was a $100,000 investment. Because Webtoons is not a third party in this. Webtoons is the central player. Like, they did not outsource this to someone else to let them decide, oh, we're going to have a third party group of judges decide, who is going to be the winner. No, they decided themselves because they wanted to be involved in saying where their money went. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do not feel that just because you were not picked, that your skills are bad, that your art is bad, that your writing is bad. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Like every single creator has room for improvement. There are art giants. Like there was an interview I watched with Art Germ. Like literally, this man can sketch like full illustrations, gorgeous, fully practically rendered almost. Like in minutes, and he's like, I have so much work to do, so much to improve. And I'm just like, are you insane? Like there is more talent in your in a millicentimeter of your thumbnail than there is in my entire body, and you're saying you need to improve. So do not be so critical on having to improve. All skill levels, I feel like, have made it to originals. All different types of art styles have made it to originals. So do not fully look at this contest and say I wasn't good enough, because you were. And that is 1000% what I believe. And you can fight me on this. You can say like, Apollo, that is Delulu thinking. That is fine. Let me live in my delusion, because at the end of the day, I am a firm believer of art being subjective, and there are so many things, so many projects that have come out in the world that I do not like, but are massively successful. So it is what it is. Fisher said, one of the shortlist people has been making a comic since 2017. They finally get their big break. Absolutely. Like sometimes, like sometimes it just takes a lot of time. Hi, Bella Rose. Fisher said, so it comes down to if Webtoon thinks they can sell the comic on their platform, I think. I completely agree with this. I mean, from a business perspective, if I was running a business and I'm offering a creator $100,000, I would be offering them $100,000 because I feel like I can make that back threefold, tenfold, 20-fold from them being on my platform. Kyson said, it wasn't our time, but it will come for everyone. Absolutely agree. So I wanted to leave this resource for you all. This is a video that I actually found today, and I listened to it. It's a pretty short video. It's about 12 minutes or so. And what I really loved about this video was this was a perspective from someone who did not enter the contest, someone who's not necessarily a webtoon creator, but they are adjacent to making webtoons, and they're like a mangaka, or I don't know if mangaka is the right word, but what I want to say is their perspective was so nice. It was so eloquent, so well said, and definitely they did a better job than I will do in this video. So if you haven't checked out this video, please, there is a link in the description. If you just want to hear something that really breaks down in a very fluid, very digestible way about entering a corporate contest, then this is the video for you. Please watch it, support the creator. You know, they went out of their way to talk about something that is not really even in, like, that they're involved with, and I just love that. So definitely check it out, watch it. It is a great watch, great advice, and really positive and motivating content from this creator. Fisher said, if someone is feeling bitter about not winning, just keep it to yourself or to people you trust and try to process the emotions. So this is something that I completely agree with. I think that if you're not dealing with the situation well, this is not the right time to post your emotional thoughts. Like, you might feel that you're being very logical, that you're being very fair, but at the end of the day, it's not a good look, especially depending on certain aspects of you as a creator. So you have to think about the fact that we're all on the internet. We're all dealing with each other to a limited extent. So like, we don't understand you as a person. So all we have is what you say. All we have are your words. And so when you say something, like, regardless if it's out of context, a lot of people are going to take it as it's said. And Of course, there are instances of people apologizing and people coming back and being like, hey, it wasn't in the right mind space. I'm sorry I said that, whatever. But it can truly damage you for the rest of your career as an artist. Like, it can be something that weighs over you for a long time. And I don't want anybody to be in that situation. I feel like I can understand where someone's coming from, but I also believe that being kind first is way more important, especially when you're disparaging someone, like, or disparaging them in a roundabout way. So it's like one of those, we all know what you're talking about. So I just want to say this, like, I will give people some grace on this, but after a while, if it continues to happen from people over and over again, I'm just going to block you. Like, and I do not block people. Like, I do not block people, but I cannot stand to see people being terrible to other people. It is one of my biggest pet peeves, of one of the things that I find to be like 1,000% disgusting. So do not do this. And I'm fine if you want to say something privately. Like, I'm down for that. Like definitely you could say whatever you want to say to me, to other people privately. But when it comes to this shortlist contest, talking about people's art style, talking about their skill level, talking about, whether they're deserving or not, like, if it's public, we're gonna have a problem. So that's all I'm gonna say. I tried to say that in the nicest way possible without losing it, because I feel like if this issue continues, like, I don't want to make a video about this. Like, I don't want to make like an expose on this, but I'm gonna move on. I feel myself getting heated. Like, I'm starting to sweat. Like, this is not good. Why? Oh my good grief. Fisher said, it's not fair to winners to try and bring them down. Agreed. Perry Pitcher says there were no guarantees that the work put in would earn anything. Exactly. Like, a lot of people, I feel like, are like, oh, I am guaranteed this. You are not guaranteed anything at all, period, ever, unless it is given to you. So counting your chickens before they hatch is a terrible idea. It's a decision we need to make at the beginning, and as hard as it is to not be picked, making friends and seeing them win is great. I absolutely agree with this. I feel like we all should be super supportive right now. Fish said, even Rotanya, shout out to Rotanya, who's an original now, had one of the most popular comics in the Call to Action contest and was publishing for 4 years before Webtoon reached out, and now she's making absolute bank and is a super popular original. Agreed. Tina Fey, what is up? Hi, Tina. I just watched that video earlier. It has a lot of great advice in general. Agreed. Kaisen said, I was about to watch this video before the stream. Watch it out, please. Yes, Beans, check it out. Check it out. For real, for real. Nero said, yeah, like, this is how you want to be remembered. Absolutely. Like, please. Like, this is a stand. Like, something like this would stop me from working with you in the future. Like, if ever I got to a point where people were like, I want to collab with Apollo, and you reached out to me, I'd be like, you're on my list. I'm never working with you. Fat Techie Cat said, some people are venting on Reddit, but it's been respectful, at least what I've seen. I think they are reaching out to see if others feel the same so they can process it better. Like I said, as long as it's kind and it's respectful, I'm okay with people venting publicly about it, but there are certain things that I just feel like are way out of pocket. Nero said, I haven't been on IG, so I don't know what's going on, but things settle. They will settle. Like I said, I think we can give people a little grace right now, and in like by next week, like any behavior that is out of pocket will not be tolerated. Ash Tree said Reddit has been venti, but not too bad. I'm here for the venti. The venti, yeah. Think you can get away? That's a Genshin reference. I'm sorry. Boss said, we're winning in our own ways too. Every step on the ladder brings you closer to your dreams. This contest was one step along the way. Nero said, like those people didn't even choose to win, so anyone criticizing their art negatively needs to chill. Absolutely. Like again, Webtoon's picks. So like what the heck? So there is a video linked in the description. It's from another creator that really talks about like dealing with the contest. It's an amazing watch. Definitely check it out when you get a chance. Okay, so let's talk about the loss. So now that you've had your process to grieve, yes, yes, yes. None is here. Hi, hi. Everybody say hello. Yes, finally able to join. I'm so excited to see you here. I've got to remember to follow your YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about the loss. So after you've had time to process, you've had time to grieve, I think it's really important to think about the loss in of itself and looking at it from a different perspective. So that's why I was saying like it's good to reframe the loss. So like, did you lose? Yes, but did you level up? Like there's a lot of aspects that I would say sorry. I have a lot of like gas today. There are a lot of aspects from this contest that I feel that I grew from personally, that like I leveled up so much from, like from, you know, just making a project and releasing it. As someone who has like a strong shadow of perfectionism looming over them, I feel like actually entering this contest, actually making it to the end and releasing what I had was one of the biggest accomplishments that I feel like I have ever had as a creator, because I constantly doubt releasing anything. Like I just do not feel good a lot of times about the works that I create. Deeply personal, deeply emotional type situation, but it's one of those things where actually being able to click publish was probably one of the biggest like moments for me during the contest. Like after that moment, I just felt like at peace. Like I didn't care about anything else. I was like, I did it. So it's one of those things where what you reflect on and take away from the contest that you are better at now that the contest is over than 6 months ago. And that is one of the things that I feel like has like really pushed me. Like I don't have the fear of publishing as much as I did before. I feel like you guys were super supportive, minus like all of my like terrible mistakes in that webtoon, like all of my like weird pacing and awkward paneling. But like you guys were supportive about it. You guys were super kind, super respectful. Like even the more honest feedback that I got back from people wasn't bad. Like all of it I felt like was really good, and it made me feel good about it. I was like, you know what? Like what am I upset about? So here are just a few things that I think like people can take away that they possibly learn from the contest and really reframe like the loss. So although you might have lost the contest, like you learned how to work under pressure. Like working under pressure, I think is something that you really don't understand until you're dealing with working under like a strong deadline. You're working under like a big project or something that is like heavily weighing on your shoulders, so you can take that away. You learned how to meet a deadline. Like everybody who made it to the 15th, we don't talk about the 16th. Like what the, I'm still losing it over that 20 minutes later we get the announcement of the extension. Like what is this debauchery? Okay, you learned how to meet a deadline. Like it's one of those things that I feel like every creator, not like all of us are on our own deadlines posting on social media. Like there's no one like holding a gun to our head. Like we just kind of like live, laugh, love, free. And so having this, I think, is one of the things that like all of us can take away from this contest. So you've now have a finished product, and what I mean by finished product is that like you have a work to point to that you can be proud of. And hey, maybe some of you might say, I'm not proud of that work, I will delete it at some point. Completely fine. But to you personally, inside your mind and your heart, like you can think about the fact that I made something that I was proud enough to enter into this contest. It was the best that I could give at this moment, and that is something that no one can take away from you. And then I would say, think about the fact that for a lot of people, like this could have been like viewed as a pitch. It could have been viewed as a foundation. It could have been viewed as a concept that, like, this is your proof of concept. This is my pitch on the series. Like, this is showcasing the aspects of the story that I think are the best. And so I feel like now you can just build and grow off of that thing entirely. So it's one of those things where I think that it's so important that although you might have lost the contest, you can think of different avenues and different ways that you can reframe the fact that you lost the contest to something more positive. Like, what did I take away from this contest? And maybe it revealed some weaknesses as well. Things that you feel like, oh, hey, you know what? I really struggled with this while I was working on my contest entry. Hey, you might have struggled, but you made it through. You figured out a way to compensate for the fact that, oh, I can't draw backgrounds. Oh, I'm terrible at anatomy. You figured out ways to make it happen and release the series on time. Talt, hello. Yes, yes, yes. As you said, I was bored with my main series and taking like 4 months off to work. The entry made me so excited and motivated to go back to my main story, so I'll call that a win. That is absolutely a win. That's super amazing. Talt said, I did not expect to be picked, so that's why I'm so unprepared right now. I've only been seeing nothing but supportive comments, as they should be. Like, please check out Nuttyland, people. Talt is on the short list. Like, help them out. Give them all the support you can. Being said, I love reading the comments on my episodes and through the Discord. Everyone is always so supportive. Absolutely. The Snipster. Is there a Pantheon Discord? No, there is the Cult of Pollo that you can join. So talk to Pollo about it, and I'm sure he will allow you to join. Oh no! This is what I was afraid of. I feel like the computer's going to die. I haven't even made it through the whole thing. Okay, so remember why you started. I think this is actually a really important. I think we'll be okay for the rest of the stream. We'll see. But if anything happens, just know that's what's going on. Okay, so remember why you started this. Okay, a lot of people probably did start their comics because of the contest, but I want people to think beyond the contest. Okay. Like, I want you to think about that moment when you were writing, when you were drawing, and you just had that moment where you were like, this is a good story. Like, I'm so excited to write this story. I'm so proud that I'm so proud that I actually am the creator of this. And that goes beyond like the contest, that goes beyond getting a contract. That moment where everything just sparked within you, where everything was perfect, where everything just made sense. And you told yourself, this story has to be told. I have to be the one to tell this story. So I 100% think that if you go off of these emotions, if you focus on the aspect of why you're creating, why you're telling the story, like, that is something that can honestly push you forward through a little bit of this haze, of the funk, of whatever sort of issues that you're dealing with. And I think that is something that is invaluable. Like, we all create stories, in my opinion, not because necessarily for money or necessarily for fame. Like, I feel like 90% of creators probably write and create stories because they love telling them. They have stories that they want to tell. And I used to not believe that, but the more I talk to people, the more I really feel like so many people would just give up on stories if they didn't succeed, and so many people don't. Like, we were talking earlier about a couple of, original creators that make stories, and some of them, they were working on their stories for 4 years before they moved on to their next story or to their next to being an original or whatever it was. And so I really feel that If you focus in on why you're telling the story that you're telling, that can be a motivation for you to move forward. And I will say, if you did make this story for the contest because you thought it was like very snappy, very marketable, very webtoons or whatever, and it didn't work, then maybe it wasn't the story of your heart. And maybe like letting go of this story, like it can serve as, you know what, that was a fun entry, but now I want to tell the story that I want to tell. All of that's completely fine. Like there are different strokes for different folks. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, focus on now telling the story that you want to tell. If your Webtoon contest entry was not it, you know, take a break. Think about the story that you want to tell. Think about what type of story is important to you. You know, you might have made a romance story because you felt like, you know, romance is popular right now. But maybe you're into political dramas. Then do a political drama. Who is stopping you? I am so here for that. Oh my good grief. Dashton, hello. The only thing that annoys me is that I can't edit anything until the contest ends. I redrew thumbnails, so now I have to create a whole new page on Canvas. Hey, I feel like I kind of like that people can't edit stuff, to be honest. Like, I really like the idea that it's kind of like being preserved. Like, these are the contest entries. I wish they would have locked them forever, to be honest. But, you know, that's just me. Like, that's the record keeper in me. Nero said, great advice, Apollo. That's totally how I felt. I was so proud of Giovanni. The journey made me realize how much I loved writing. It gave me so much life. And that's the thing. Like, there are so many invaluable aspects that I think people probably took away from this contest, and they just don't realize it. Boss said, my contest entry was made just 2 weeks before the deadline because my first comic got banned. So, in a way, it's better. I'm not too attached to it. Hey, and that can be the thing, too. Like, maybe you heard about the contest super late and you just zoomed to get it out there. That doesn't remove the fact that you can be disappointed. That doesn't, you know, change anything that you put forth effort to be a part of the contest. I think all of this is just showing that we all have different aspects to this contest and nothing is going to encapsulate it perfectly. So I'm here for it. Like do your next project, whether you decide to continue your story, do a new project, go back to an old project, is all justified. But allow yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of grace. Andy said, nah, I want to delete evidence. Andy, if you do not delete files, Andy, send me those files. I want them. Do not delete them. I swear, if you remove Silas from existence, I'm going to be ticked off. Like, I'm coming for you. Like, do not do this, Andy. I will find you. The Snipster said, we should all make our stories so good Webtoon will regret not picking us. That's the vibe. Honestly, everyone should make their stories so good that you don't need Webtoons, and then Webtoons is coming to you to be like, please join our site. Like, that would be honestly the biggest gag of the century. What's your political drama called? Tell me. Ashley said, I think it's a good idea to relaunch it on Canvas. You can get on fresh picks on Canvas tab. Yeah, that is smart. That's very smart. Beanword said, I'm continuing mine most likely in September. I want to make a buffer first. Let's go do it. I don't know how to contact Pollo to get approved to join the Discord. Could you help let me and buy in? If you guys can message me on Instagram, I will send you the invitation. So I can't do it right now on stream, but otherwise I will send you guys the invitation. Okay. All right, so my last point in this whole thing is rejection is not the end. Like, rejection is a little bit of a hard pill to swallow in any instance, whether it's in your personal life, from jobs to dating to, you know, whatever aspect rejection can fall into. It's not easy, but it's not the end. Like, it is one of the things where I feel like you can use it, you can learn from it, you can move forward from it, you can grow from it. Sometimes you can ignore it. It all depends on the vibe at the moment. But don't let not winning or losing stop you from creating the story you want to create. So I think there's a lot of feelings that are going around right now. And like I said, I understand. I feel like it is okay for people to have negative emotions. It is okay for you to feel the way you want to feel, but don't let this rejection stop you. I really want people to keep making their stories. Like, we we have the power to do so much, and I don't think we realize it. So whether it's just being a supportive member in the community right now, that's all you can handle, that is completely fine. Or whether it's jumping back in, head first to your comic, then do what you need to do. So all I'm saying is don't forget that this contest does not define you. This was something created by a corporation to select someone that they want to invest in to make money off of. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a bunch of other conspiracies going on with this contest too. I've mentioned it in other videos, like how it's probably just like one big tax write-off, like it's a big distraction from something else that's going on. Like there's a bunch of other things happening that like I'm very curious about and I'm trying to tap in on. But I'm just saying, this contest is not the end for anybody. It's only the end if I'm not even going to say that. It's not the end for anybody. So just learn from it and keep growing, keep grooving, keep moving, keep dancing. Do whatever you need to do. That's the whole thing. Jacob the Best. I have a question. I'm thinking of delegating my comic and re-releasing it. I'm just curious, should I change my story's thumbnail or is it good enough? I could not speak to whether it is good enough or not because I don't know what your comic is. What is your series? Like we could do a quick poll for you, Jacob, if you so desire. Dragon said, I want to delete and edit my webtoon, but I received so many views and subs and nice comments that I don't want to disappoint the readers, so I'll sneak a few edits in once the button is unlocked. Yes, please, don't everyone just delete your comics. Don't do it. I love them too much. Webtoons is like a toxic ex, honestly. Webtoons is like a toxic... Like Webtoons is that drunk person at the bar when it's 2 a.m. and you're like, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. But like, they're not ugly and they're not attractive. And you're just like, I'm feeling some type of way. And so you just can't decide what you want to do, but somehow you end up back at their place. Like, that is Webtoons in a nutshell. Like, it is a fever dream wrapped in a bad decision that you know is a bad decision, but you do it anyway. Like, that's the vibe. Like for real. Like, just being 100% transparent. And then like the next day you're like, I shouldn't have done it, but you know what? It wasn't that bad. And then you just continue on in the relationship. Like 2 a.m. every time. You don't feel great about it. They don't feel great about it, but you both know what it is. And so at a certain point, you're just like, leave the money on the table. Like, that's the vibe. Like, honestly, that's the vibe. I'm sorry. Jagged said, I'm about to run to Tapas so fast. I feel you. Tina said, saw that a lot of the shortlisters made things before this contest, so experience definitely helps. This contest is just another experience. Agreed. Yurin said, oh dang, 1 to 2 months. I started in March. I guess it'll never get there. Nero said, your story is worth being told. If it manages to make one person's life better in any way, then you won in life. Don't deny us the privilege of reading your original work. Detanius, hello. Agreed. Oh, Andy, stop this. Delete your art. I'm on to you. Kaisen said, wait, if you edit your webtoon, do the likes and comments restart or do they stay the same? They stay the same. I tried Tapas and for me, it felt like a ghost town. I feel like everybody says that about Tapas, but I also feel like I feel that way about Twitter. Tina said that metaphor sounded too specific, Apollo. Got something to say. I have lots to say about stuff. Like, you don't want to know, Tina. You don't want to know. Astri said, Namikami is where I'm headed next. Yes, please try Namikami. If you didn't know, I did an interview with them and I got to talk to the CEO, and it was like a really fun and cool experience. Like, he is so excited about the platform and he has just so much to say about the platform. Like, it's very encouraging to hear like how much effort and thought he's putting behind the creation of the platform and his experience as well, which I think lends itself to why they'll be successful. I think maybe they're probably 3 to 5 years out before being like really making their mark, but I could be wrong. And why not get in on the ground floor while they're still building? And if you join their Discord, like, you can talk to him directly. You can tell him like your experience. You can tell him how you're feeling about it. There's so many really cool aspects of Namikami that I think a lot of platforms will eventually have, but they have it now. Nero said, I'm going on Uri. I love the platform. I want to get Giovanni translated to French too. Oh, okay. So I also did an interview with them. Amazing creators. And what I mean by like people who create the creator of the platform. He is a one-man band, and what he has managed to do is insane. Like, I love it so much. I have a lot of faith in that platform as well. The only thing about that one is he's doing it by himself, so things are going to be progressively slower. And he's just working the best that he can do with what he has, which is amazing. So you can definitely check that out too. And these are older interviews. Like, I think Namikami is 8 months ago. Uri was after that. So like, they're both, you know, way further along than they were when I had these interviews with them. So I think it probably would be, you know, it'll give you a perspective on how you can grow with them. And it'll also give you a perspective of who's behind the scenes working on these platforms. So definitely check out both of those platforms. I cannot speak this enough. I mean, I've heard good things about Tapas too. Like, I think the Starfish Face post on Tapas, like, they're pretty huge YouTuber in my opinion for like webtoons and webcomics. So, you know, they're doing their thing over there. So, and Tapas has a contest going on right now. I need to make a video about it. Perry said, I haven't checked out your video, haven't heard of them before. Yeah, check them out. They're under my interviews playlist. Is Namikami only page format, or does it support vertical scroll? On Namikami, you can actually pick what type of format you want to release in, and they do support vertical scroll, to answer your question. Oh, is Uri Canadian? It is Canadian. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Subsam Jam said, looks like To Hunt a Vampirus is on the front page of Namikami, so I guess it does vertical scrolling too. It absolutely does. Okay. So, I'm sorry. I got distracted reading comments, and I didn't even we didn't even enter questions and comments. But the questions in the community, feel free to vent your feelings below in the comment section. You know, whatever you need to say, like, just be respectful, be kind, be mindful of other creators. Like, I'm completely okay with you guys commenting what you need to comment down below. You know, really interact with each other if you need to. If you just need to get something off of your chest, like, that is what this space is created for. And if you do say something out of pocket, I'm not gonna hold it against you. I will likely just delete the comment and we will never speak of it again. So I'm giving people a free pass. If you do get too crazy, I'll just chop it up to the fact that, you know, it was an accident. Okay. So questions and comments, which we've already been doing, but it is what it is. Yeah, definitely check out your rye beans. You might like it. I keep forgetting about the tapas contest. I know nobody's covering it. So I I need to make a video about it. Like I don't think anybody's made a video about it. Like poor tapas. They're not getting the love that we gave the Webtoon contest. Fishfish said some of my mutuals have their own websites where the traffic exceeds the traffic they get on Webtoons. Hey, you never know. Like that's why I'm saying like there's so many different avenues. Like I've heard people say like making your own website isn't good. I've heard people say making your own website is good. So like I've heard people say tapas isn't good. I've heard people say tapas really work for them. Like it's the same everywhere. I feel like you have to test it out yourself to really figure out like how you want to grow your platform. Are you said I'm happy. I'm glad I got so many artist friends now. I will definitely continue my comic and I need to finish my website. Yes, please, are you? Please, please. When you finish the website, let me know so I can be your #1 supporter. Ashtree said I'm contest out, but maybe next time. Completely understandable. I personally feel like as like a information hub source, like I've been so hyper fixated on Webtoons. There's probably been a bunch of news that's come out in the Webtoons world that I have not covered, so I need to start scouring the internet for all of the information that we've missed so I can update all of us on all of the topics that are happening. Bean said, oh, I heard about the tapas contest. I don't think I'll join since I want to try out art fight. Yeah, you may not have time, so completely understandable, but I think it's good to know what the options are. Perry said art fight is amazing. Yes, Perry has a bunch of videos on their channel, Perry Pictures, about art fight. So if you're interested in joining art fight, Perry is the person to go to. Please talk to them, reach out to them. Jacob the Best. I uploaded the wrong like to my story. Here's the right one. Like? What are you saying? I'm not sure what you're saying. If you're talking about your series, you can message me on Instagram about it. I was going to pull it up, but I don't remember seeing a message from you about it. Like the name. Voice said, I know someone who entered the contest, 10 years experience, entered the competition as well, didn't make it, and he's really sad about it. He's like, I've been drawing for so long, what's the point? I can understand that. What should I tell him to calm him down? I would say at this point, just let him vent, get his feelings out, let him have a moment. Like everybody needs that. And then like I like to ask my friends when they're going through something like, what do you need from me? Do you need me to be supportive right now? Do you need me to be a voice of reason? Do you need counsel? And then we kind of go from there, because sometimes like, you know that what you're feeling isn't right and what you're saying isn't right, and you just need a moment to wallow. And so like I'll give you the grace period to wallow for a little bit, and then after that, like then I will step in to say what I need to say. I'll be like, okay, listen, you cannot continue to do this. Like, you know, let's look at your story objectively. Is it good? Is the art good? Like, what do you think needs to be improved? Like, you tell me. And then, you know, they could say like, oh, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. And then you could say, okay, let's remove that. That's a personal thing that has nothing to do with readers. Like a lot of times artist issues with their series are very artist issues. Like they have nothing to do with readers. Like it's like, I really hate the fact that these shoes don't look like shoes, and literally no one's clowning on your shoes, bro. So like it's one of those things where I feel like, you know, after they've had their moment to wallow, then you can have an honest discussion with them and be like, okay, like, you know, are you ready for me to be, like, depending on the situation, are you ready for me to give some honest truths to you? Are you ready for me to, you know, tell you, you know, very transparent what could be improved, what couldn't be improved? Like, are you in the right headspace? Because telling them something when they're not in the right headspace could make the situation worse and could have backlash on you. Because sometimes a friend just needs to be supportive of their friend. Like, that is why you have friends. Like, the world beats you down so much. I don't need my friends doing it too. So, like, there's a time and place for everything, and I'm a firm believer in that. And so, you know, give them their grace and then build them up from there. You got this. You got this. I promise. Dash 10 said the highlight of the contest for me was submitting upon that amazing channel, its incredible host, and all the talented artists I met. I definitely owe Apollo a drawing when I have time. Oh my good grief, you don't owe me anything. I think we all just had a good time with the contest. Like, honestly, I feel like if it wasn't for you guys, I may not have made the contest. Like, I honestly felt like I needed to submit in the contest because of y'all. Like, it literally had nothing to do with Webtoons. I was talking to one of my mutuals and I was like, I personally feel like if I don't submit, I'm letting everybody down who I've talked with about the contest. Like, the contest, it literally had nothing to do with Webtoons, and it had everything to do with y'all. Like, 100%. Hi, Lynn. For anyone going through burnout, please be patient and kind to yourself. The spark will come back, I promise. It definitely will. Vin said, I'm still burnt out from the 2022 contest. Oh no, that's rough. Sometimes burnout can come for a long time. So when I was in high school, I went to an art high school, and it was very heavily focused in art. Like, all of our electives were art, like everything was art related. And when I graduated from high school, I wanted nothing to do with art. Like, I probably took like a long break, like all of college type break. Like, I was like, I can't deal with art. Like, I don't want to even think about picking up a pencil or drawing or anything. But I finally made my way back to it. So it's one of those things. And I grew so much in that time when I wasn't drawing as a person that I understood myself a lot more. And so when I finally made it back to art, I think my relationship with it had changed, and I was able to create more of what I wanted to create and understand myself better as a artist, creator, creative, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's Zodiark. Oh, gotcha. That's the name of your webtoon. I was wondering, what are we saying? I was like, what is this Zodiark? Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, we can pull it up real quick. Let's see. Let's end the stream in slideshow. I'll bring it back up here in a minute. And let's hopefully of course it's my email. Okay, don't get too crazy. Like, let's not destroy the world. Oh my good grief. I'm like, are you going to load? Are we going to be able to do this, my guy? God, my computer is running so slow. It's struggling. I promise I'm getting a new computer soon. Like it is happening. I've been saving up my Patreon money. It is happening. That really needs to be my next Patreon goal. Oh, no, we need to search. Okay, so what was it? Zodi. Okay, Zodi dash arc. All right, and so we can do a little poll. Let's do a little poll here. And so the poll's anonymous. So Zodiark's thumbnail. Keep the same. Make a new one. All right, so it would be awesome if we all could help out with this. Like, if you guys think we should adjust it, like what we should do. Are you, Apollo? Be careful. Every click could be your last. Yeah, we're flying close to the sun as usual over here. Fat Tacky Cats. Wish there were more webcomic review channels. There's a few. I've been thinking of starting one. Please start one. I really, really, really wish there was more creators in the Webtoon community. I 100% think that like then it would really help offset some of the power in the community. Perry said, I can't see it. Like, you can't see it on the screen? The Snipster said, to be honest, if you think about Webtoon's grueling update schedule, all the burnout the original's creators often suffer, meddling with story from a corporation, etc., is losing the contest that bad. I mean, you're not wrong. Like there are a lot of ups and downsides to being an original. Like just like any job, there's going to be ups and downs. So I think if you are planning to work with Webtoons, you just have to go into the you just have to go into it with the mindset that I'm working with a corporation and these people are not my friends. Like that's what I want to say. Like that's what you need to go into the any future professional business that you decide to do. Just saying. Oatmeal and Peaches said, I like it. It's bold. Yeah. It's a great thumbnail. Like, Ashley said, I think it looks good, but it's off center. So there's a lot of aspects to it. Like, it's one of those things where you could change it and make something new if that's what you feel like doing. Or you could, make some minor tweaks to it. I feel like it all depends on how you feel about it. Like if you're leaning towards it, then sure. But if you're like I guess it depends. Like if you're thinking I'm looking for like validation, like there's a lot of aspects to this. Like, are you just unhappy with it? Like there's so much to consider about this to decide whether or not you should redo it. Talt said, I agree with the ash tree. I would just center it and zoom in a little. I had to zoom in on mine a little and it helped with clarity. Yeah, check out Nuttyland. The Snipster said, at least that's what I tell myself so I sleep better instead of being sad. Aryu said, around the area of mouth is really busy, kind of confusing. I think a really good thumbnail example is I'm the Grim Reaper's thumbnail. I think it's like so easy to look at and identify what type of series it is. So definitely something to consider. All right, so let's end the poll. End the poll. And I'm going to open the PowerPoint back up. And hopefully we make it through the rest of the stream. Okay. So 70% said make a new one. 29% said keep the thumbnail the same. So there's your answer. Oh my good grief. You're killing me. Okay. So let's go ahead and wrap things up with the stream. So here's my creators shout out. They were here earlier. I don't know if they still are, but I just want to say Datanius is someone who has been on the stream for forever. Like I remember them from way back when. They've been like a huge supporter. Please check out their series. You can pause the screen, take a screenshot, do what you need to do. It is now forever. It is a romance slice of life. And I think that this creator, they need more subs. They need support. So definitely read it if you feel like it would be your vibe. All right. So a huge thank you and shout out to all of my patrons. We will be doing another Patreon video this Sunday. It will be... That was it.